We had been married for 7 years when the calls began. At first, I thought they were wrong numbers or telemarketers. But when they persisted, my curiosity got the better of me. The voice on the other end was sultry and inviting, promising things that I hadn't dared to fantasize about since our honeymoon. My wife was beautiful and kind, but our sex life had grown predictable and tame over the years. She preferred the lights off and never strayed from missionary position. I couldn't help but feel like something was missing. The mysterious phone calls intrigued me in a way that nothing had in a very long time. I took one of the calls in my office late one Friday afternoon while my wife was out running errands. The woman on the other end wasted no time getting to the point. "I've seen you around town," she purred seductively. "You have this look about you like you're hungry for something that your sweet little wife just isn't giving you." I felt a lump rise in my throat at her words, before managing to stammer out a response. "Who is this?" I asked nervously. "That's not important," she replied dismissively. "What is important is that I can give you everything that you've been dreaming of." The line went dead before I could respond, leaving me sitting there stunned with an odd mixture of fear and excitement coursing through my veins. The next few weeks passed without any further contact from my mysterious caller, leaving me wondering if it had all just been some sort of twisted prank. That was until one day, as I was pulling into our driveway after work, I spotted her standing across the street by a parked car wearing large sunglasses and leaning nonchalantly against its sleek black frame. Her hair was dark and cascading down around her shoulders in loose curls. Her body poured out of her tan trench coat in all the right ways, and even from a distance, I could tell that her lips were painted a deep shade of red. I sat frozen in my car staring at her for what felt like an eternity before she finally spoke. "I told you that we'd be seeing each other soon," she said with a knowing smile as she turned to open the car door. "Get in." My heart pounded in my chest as I nervously made my way across the street and climbed into the plush leather seat next to her. She smelled like lilacs and danger as I reached across the console to shake her hand. "You must be wondering who I am," she said coyly, ignoring my outstretched hand. "Some call me a seductress or a home wrecker. Personally, I think of myself as more of a fulfillment specialist." She let the words hang heavy in the air for a moment before continuing. "As far as your wife is concerned, I don't exist. This is our little secret," she whispered seductively. My mind was reeling at this point. How did this woman know so much about me? What had I gotten myself into? Before I had time to process anything further, we pulled up to an upscale hotel on the edge of town. She led me past the front desk without checking in and down a dimly lit hallway to one of its luxurious suites. The room was filled with soft candlelight and smelled like lavender as she took off her coat and slowly walked towards me wearing only black lace lingerie underneath. To say that we made love would be putting it mildly. It was more like we pushed each other's brains out. She was insatiable, pushing all of my boundaries until there was nothing left but pure primal desire. She knew exactly what I liked before I even knew it myself. It was intoxicating. We met countless times after that first rendezvous, both in the hotel and at her private townhouse. Each encounter was more electric than the last, as we explored new depths of desire and pleasure that I never thought possible. She would often call or text me from a burner phone to set up our meetings, but we never spoke about anything other than our physical relationship. It was as if she existed only to fulfill my deepest, darkest fantasies. I became addicted to her, craving her touch and the way she made me feel like a man again. One evening, after one particularly intense encounter, she laid naked in her bed smoking a cigarette while I got dressed at the foot of it. You know this can go on forever, she said casually, blowing smoke rings into the air above her head. Eventually you're going to have to make a choice. A choice? I asked nervously. What do you mean? I mean that you either need to leave your wife and be with me, or cut all ties with me immediately, she said matter-of-factly. I felt my stomach churn at her words as I tried to process what she was saying. I need time to think about it, I responded finally. This is all so much right now. Of course, she replied dismissively before taking another long drag from her cigarette and exhaling slowly. Just remember, curiosity killed the cat. I wasn't sure what that meant. I also wasn't sure what to do. In my whole life I have never felt so helpless. It was the old fight within me between what seemed right and the forbidden right. Now I couldn't tell if it was the devil or the angel on my shoulder who would win this fight.